Hello again. So, yeah, pick up where we left off in Lucy. Last we left our heroes. Our protagonist was searching for Lucy, who mysteriously vanished. Wanted to comment on a couple of things. He makes a comment about it, looking after Lucy being like looking after an autistic child at one point. And the way he framed it wasn't very nice to autistic people. He said it was like he treated it, he talked about it as though she's disabled and doesn't realize how much of a burden she's being, which it's not really nice, not really fair, but in a funny sort of way, like comparing her to an autistic person is actually kind of apt. I mean, like speaking for myself as an autistic person myself, I know, like, I see and interpret the world in a different way than most people, which is made for a confusing childhood, but never mind that. What I'm trying to say is she has a different way of looking at things and a different way of interpreting the world around her. And if you're not used to that, that can take some patience to deal with it and understand it, and try to understand her, where she's coming from, and so on. And it's its own little way. I mean, he's having so much difficulty with her because he just doesn't understand her frame of reference, and he isn't really. He's sort of trying, but not very well. He's not recognizing his own biases. Like, he keeps accusing her of being illogical, even when she's being perfectly logical. Like, her position is totally reasonable. It's just not what a human, not a way a human would behave. But still. He's having trouble seeing his own biases, and he's making a lot of illogical assumptions without seeing that he's being illogical, and letting his emotions get in the way a lot. So I don't know. He just needs to recognize his own bias. And, he keeps quoting like philosophers and psychologists. So he I kind of feel like he should know better. Like, maybe he'll figure it out. We'll see. But I don't know. I just think it's kind of funny that I mean, not funny, but that comparison to autism. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go back. Maybe she. Maybe she went back home. I mean, I should check back home anyway. In the end, I went back home empty-handed. Lucy soon returns from her grocery trip after about an hour. So, shopping for groceries then? Yep. And we're getting treated to the three halls of robotics again. Can I skip this? Nope, it's not letting me skip it. The authors seem to think it was really important. I don't remember what date we were up to. We're up to October 22nd now, so does that mean a few days have passed? I lost track. I don't remember where we were left off. 9 o'clock is making 2 o'clock. So there's no interaction after all that? There's no follow-up, like, hey, where were you? Was I supposed to continue looking for her in order to get that? I'm just a bit confused. There was all this, like, at the end of the last episode, there's all this worry. Oh no, where is she? I'd better go look for her. And now we just don't care. Okay. Anyway, moving on. I instinctively reach out and shut it off. Then I try to get myself up. But it ends in a failed attempt. Huh? I become engulfed in dizziness halfway up. Oh. I stumble and fall back down. Oh. Okay. What's going on now? Heart troubles, vasovagal response. My body feels heavy. My vision is faltering. I guess I need more sleep. Okay. I have no choice. I'll stay in bed for a little while longer. Lucy will come wake me up anyway. I'll sleep a little more until it's time to go to school. That didn't seem like a normal response to getting up in the morning. Master? Master? I open my eyes. Without a hastened breath, Lucy's quietly sitting beside me. She has a concerned look on her face. Is Master awake? Lucy? Lucy places a hand on my forehead. It's freezing. Your hand feels cold. It's not that Lucy's hand is cold. It's just that Master's head is warm. My head? Master's temperature is above normal at 38.5 degrees Celsius. It's not hugely out of the normal. 37 degrees is normal. 38.5 degrees. Yes, 38.5 degrees. That explains it. Thought I just needed more sleep, but it appears that the fever was the culprit. It's true that I haven't been feeling too well lately. I must have caught a cold. My venture outside in the freezing weather yesterday was probably the deciding factor. Does Master feel pain anywhere in particular? Please tell Lucy the details. I oblige and tell her the condition I'm in. She opens my mouth and takes a peek inside. Then she proceeds to check something near my stomach area. It's like she's playing doctor or something. Checking his stomach? What could she be checking there for? It appears that Master has caught a cold. A cold? Yes, it should go away after a good rest. Can I really trust you on this? I have my doubts. Should Lucy call in a professional just in case? I wonder what kind of professional she could be talking about. She probably means a doctor. You don't need to. Very well. And perhaps Lucy should give Father a call. This time I respond without a moment's hesitation. There's no need to think it over. No, don't bother. All right. Master should also take the day off from school. Lucy will give him a call. Nonsense. I don't need to take a day off just because of something like... I try to get up, only to be immediately shot down. Master. Her sort of tone shows me that she means business. Without making a peep, I lie back down. Master should not be moving around in this state. Please stay in bed. Lucy will nurse Master back to health. You don't need to. A minor cold like this is... Please stay in bed. Her tone is gentle yet firm. I don't have the energy to argue anyway, so I decide to comply. Please rest for a little while longer. Lucy will go purchase some medicine. For the typical illness, typically like bed rest and lots of fluids, including vitamin C, is all you need really. I'm not sure what medicine she'd be referring to. The drowsiness slowly starts to settle in. I was staring at Lucy, who was leaving the room. Before I know it, everything has turned pitch black. Like I said, the English is pretty good, but it keeps switching back between present tense and past tense. It keeps throwing me. It hurts my immersion. Anyway, now when I come to, there is a wet towel placed on my forehead. It's a little warm. Is Master awake? Yeah. How long was I asleep for? About 30 minutes. Only 30 minutes? Feels like I slept for quite a while, though. He switches up the towel on my forehead with another. The coolness of the new towel feels refreshing. For some reason, I suddenly grow embarrassed as I notice Lucy smiling at me. What were you doing while I was asleep? Lucy was looking over Master. You didn't do anything strange just because I was sleeping, did you? Of course not. Lucy certainly didn't do anything like poking around under Master's bed out of curiosity. That's oddly specific. You won't find anything there in the first place. Is that so? Lucy was taught that any youthful teenager keeps treasures under their bed, though. I wonder if she learned that from the lab. But come on now. There's no way I would hide mine in such an obvious place. But Lucy has already inspected all the bookshelves filled with Master's history books. I'm beginning to fear for the safety of my collection. Master, Lucy has his medicine prepared. Medicine? Lucy points toward the table. A bottle of medicine lying on top. Just in case Master finds swallowing pills uncomfortable, Lucy has also prepared some syrup made for children. It's nothing bitter. Now say ah. She's holding a spoonful with an unknown substance. It slowly approaches my mouth. Just give me the pills. But the syrup is so nice and sweet. Give me the pills or I won't take any medicine at all. Lucy pouts like a little child. She's continuing to refuse to obey orders, you know. But she finally hands me the pills with some water. I swallow them down immediately in a single large gulp and lie back down. Begin to feel drowsy again. Well, I'm gonna get some more sleep now. Close my eyes without waiting for a reply. It's kind of funny asking if she did anything unusual, but what would she qualify as unusual? But whatever, I don't know. Anyway, I let the drowsiness carry me away. I quickly fall asleep once more. Oh, are we going back to the perspective change or no? Okay, never mind. Or maybe he's dreaming about Lucy, I guess. I had a terrible dream. I don't quite remember the details, but it was something about my childhood. My birth mother appeared in it, whose face I could only barely recall. I waked to find myself out of breath, and drenched in cold sweat. I tried to move my hand in order to wipe it away. At that moment, I realized that my hand is intertwined with Lucy's. While I was sleeping, she must have been holding my hand the entire time. Lucy speaks up while smiling politely. Did Master have a bad dream? Yeah. Was it about getting Master's teeth pulled out? No, oddly specific, though that would definitely make for a scary dream. The one I had was something far worse, something I never wanted to see. Grip onto her hand a little more tightly. Your hand? Master? Were you holding my hand the entire time? Master looked like he was in pain. That wasn't an answer. Lucy wipes down my forehead with the towel. Her tender display of kindness begins to touch my heart. They say that a strong body makes the mind strong. I've never heard that expression, but okay. If my body in such a weak state, followed by a weakened mind, I couldn't put up any resistance against her acts of kindness. This is truly unfair. I can only see it as being unfair. That's why, while Lucy's leaning over me, I pull her in closer. What are you doing, buddy? Huh? She resists slightly, just enough to make clear that she felt uncomfortable about it. Master? Just for a moment. It's my request, just for a moment like this. Lucy stays silent. She has stopped resisting. I also remain silent. Without a word, I continue to bask in Lucy's warmth. Stay like this for a while. Master? Lucy breaks the silence. What is it? Well, with all due respect, just tell me. To ensure safe sexual practice, Lucy wanted to let Master know that an age verification is required before any further physical intimacy is allowed. Uh-huh. What was that about extra features that Dr. Gears was talking about? Don't be ridiculous, you're ruining the moment. My apologies, Master. He didn't verify his age. There's another moment of silence. This time I speak up first. It's all because of you. Master? I'm not the one at fault. You're the one to blame. What's he talking about now? Lucy is the one to blame? That's right, it's all your fault. You're the reason why I've become so strange. Sorry, Master. Why? Why is it you talk just like a real person? Sorry, Master. Why does he act just like a real person? Sorry, Master. Why is it you're so kind? Sorry, Master. Why is it that you're so considerate? Sorry, Master. Like a parrot, Lucy continues to utter the same apology over and over again. She doesn't say anything else. She doesn't provide any words of consolation. said, I'm greeted by the sensation of her arms wrapping around me. I feel her snuggling into my back. Her movements are programmed, and so is her warmth. Even so, I could still feel the same warmth coming from a real person. There's no doubt that she's an elaborate fake. However, I decide this much is enough to satisfy my current self. I decide that I'm happy with the way things are. So yeah, he's still being a dick toward her. He's got some weird conflicting emotions going on. Like, he's obviously not happy with the way his father treats her, but he doesn't stop him from being a dick toward her. Like you're being too nice. Like, what do you want, dude? Next day. The clock reads 10:30 a.m. I feel a lot better compared to yesterday. My dizziness is gone. My mind is now crystal sharp. It's as if my sickness from yesterday was just a dream. I take a light shower and enter the living room. I lock eyes with Lucy, who is doing some cleaning around the house. Not sure why it showed the washing machine in that scene there. I wonder if that was the wrong background or something. Ah, Master is awake. I find it difficult to maintain my gaze with her because of the events from yesterday. I can only give a small nod. How is Master feeling? Well, not too bad. Really? Lucy will check Master's temperature again. I'm telling you I'm fine. Not even pretending to listen, Lucy places her hand on my forehead. Yes, it does appear that Master's fever is really gone. That's what I said. What a relief. It appears it was just a mild sickness. Will Master be going to school today, then? Although Master will be late to class. My body's recovered enough for me to be able to attend class without straining myself. I feel too lazy to go to school at this hour. I'll also probably draw a lot of attention if I enter right in the middle of class, and I don't want that either. No, not today. Let's just go with the story of me still being sick. Master, it's not good to pretend to be sick. I'm not pretending. I actually still feel a bit feverish. I feel like I'm about to faint, but I'm trying my best to stay up. It's even worse to tell a lie. That's interesting, considering that she lied in the previous scene, but whatever. So inconvenient that she already knows everything. I mean, like in the scene where she's washing the clothes, she was apparently intent on not letting the protagonist know that his father ordered her to wash the clothes. It kind of makes you wonder, like, I don't know. Never mind. Moving on. Since I can't talk my way through anything. Anyway, I'm not going, so give it up. Please don't make a fuss over it. I said I'm not going. No one's going to make me. Lizzie puts on a troubled expression. It can't be helped. Just this one time, then. I won. It's my victory. In exchange, I seem to have lost my status as her master. I don't know if this is really something to be happy about. Master must be starving, yes? Lucy will prepare something right away. I quickly stop Lucy, who is just about to head over to the kitchen. By the way... Yes? Lucy turns around and gives me a questioning look. Well, how should I put this? The words are stuck in my throat. Shake my head, take a deep breath, and continue. I'll just say that I'm thankful for what you've done. Lucy stares at me while frozen in place. I awkwardly scratch my cheeks. It wasn't a bad feeling. Unlike the other kids at my age, I never had a mother taking care of me ever since I was little. My father was always so focused on his work, too. And my new mother is nothing more than a distant stranger to me. She never stops by our place, unless she has a good reason to. So basically, I've never had anyone take care of me while I was sick. That's why the fact that you were here to stay by my side, it was, how to put it, a new sensation. That was too vague of a description. I feel I need to make myself clearer. In other words, I overcome my embarrassment and pronounce each word clearly. Thanks for taking care of me. Lucy. Lucy doesn't say a word. She continues to stare at me in silence. it's probably going to cause some confusion since you seem to dislike. You explicitly said you didn't. Well, he didn't explicitly say he didn't like being taken care of. He said that you just questioned it. But anyway, Lucy, this is the first time. What? This is the first time Lucy was able to receive Master's gratitude. It feels like this is the first time Lucy has ever proven useful to Master. Lucy was afraid all this time because Lucy didn't know whether she was doing a good job or if she was only causing trouble. As Master knows, Lucy was always being scolded by Master for being clumsy, and Father was always yelling at Lucy for being useless. That is why it was tough for Lucy to maintain her confidence. Lucy always wore a bright, cheery smile and pretended nothing was wrong. But deep inside, Lucy felt uneasy and afraid that if things continued like this, she may be abandoned by Master one day. Abandoned just like before. You idiot, I would never... But... Lucy cuts me off and continues to speak. But now Lucy has become more confident. At last. At last Master has acknowledged Lucy. At last Master has found Lucy useful. Lucy is very happy about that. Both of us go silent for a while. And I continue while trying to hide my embarrassment. In all honesty, you're not that bad. You really helped me out a lot. So quit your worrying. And you can continue to stay here. Really? Yeah, I'll personally allow it. Lucy can really continue to stay here in this house? Yeah, you can. Lucy can really continue to stay by Master's side? Yeah. From here on out, you can stay by my side. No, actually, I decided to be more honest with myself. I would like you to stay here. From here on out. I would like you to continue being here for me. Can you do that? Of course. Lucy will gladly do so. Lucy smiles. She smiles brightly, resembling a real person. The reason why my heart is wavering so much, the reason why it won't come down, I'd say it's definitely because of that smile. Yeah. I mean, the game is keen in reminding us that her emotions aren't real, they're simulated. But so all that talk of worrying, I mean, I don't know, maybe it's just a really advanced artificial intelligence, but the more cynical side of me is saying is thinking it's probably, I mean, it would be a really good marketing ploy to make customers feel guilty about giving up their androids. So that could be a pre-programmed thing, but who knows. September 29th. Hey, oh, okay. Another flashback. So did all this happen in 1 year? Like, is this the same year? Because he said he worked on Lucy for 15 years. Because if this is the same year, then this is getting closer to when she was abandoned. Doctor, Lucy suddenly comes looking for me. It's unexpected of her, so I'm a little surprised. What's this all about? Lucy hesitates a little bit. Just what is on her mind? Go ahead. When will Lucy be able to meet her master? Her words make me cease all of my movements momentarily. Then, as if nothing has happened, I calmly reply, "What do you mean? When will Lucy be ready to be released? When will Lucy be able to meet her master?" Well, Lucy is very excited to find out what kind of person her master will be. Although since Lucy is a robot, she cannot dream. But if Lucy was human, she believes that she would dream every night about meeting her master. Aww. When will Lucy be able to meet her master? I have no idea how I should respond. Words are stabbing at my heart. It's painful to continue listening to her. It's painful to watch her desire for a master. Despite that, I do my best to stay composed. In a controlled, measured voice, I reply, "Well, try not to fret over it too much." Presumably, since she's a prototype, she's never meant to have a master. That's what I'm guessing is the reason for his reaction. But let's see how it plays out. Your big day will come soon enough. It's not like you don't enjoy staying here, right? Of course. Then all you need to do is wait patiently. But how long will Lucy need to wait? Well, it might take a little longer than you expect. Will it really take that long? A small chuckle escapes my mouth. Yes, since we must secure approval from the authorities. Is the process really that difficult? Mm-hmm. Why is that? They're scared. Scared? Yes. What are they scared about? I struggle to find the words to tell her. Lucy purses her lips while trying to read my expression. Is Lucy scary? Are people scared of Lucy? Quite a lot of them are, actually. Is Doctor also scared? Oh, is he scared of Lucy? Not me, but everyone's different. It's unlikely that other people will feel the same way as I do. Only the people at this lab share my perspective. There are definitely people out there who are scared of you. There might even be people in this very lab who may put up a strong front, but are actually afraid deep inside. There are a lot more people like that in the outside world. Many more than you can imagine. Lucy doesn't understand. Lucy comes with security features like any other robot. Lucy knows that some of her features might pose a threat to people. But she's programmed to be unable to harm humans. There's something called the 3 laws of robotics, which she's been disobeying flagrantly for this entire game. There are rules in place to protect humans. No matter how twisted Lucy becomes and starts malfunctioning, the moment Lucy breaks any of the laws, she's programmed to break down. That's why Lucy hopes that people will stop being scared of her. Lucy hopes that the people in the outside world will stop being scared of her. The chance of Lucy being officially released is probably close to nil. Authorities are very conservative. We've been having a tough time trying to convince them. They don't wish for any changes that may pose a risk. And it's not just them, the majority of people also share that view. My mindset is certainly in the minority. We're nothing but a small group of people disillusioned with human beings. We're crossing that line that wasn't meant to be crossed. Nothing has changed since the past. The fact that she's still very dangerous. She's a robot that's capable of replacing a human being wholly. The nobility of mankind, or reign over the world. This robot has the potential to take them away entirely. That is why the authorities believe that Lucy is a Pandora's box. That is why they're trying to restrict her capabilities and keep her out of public reach. You can learn beauty from art, the world from science, life from religion, and man from robots. It could be that people are afraid to see reflections of themselves. They're afraid they might be reproduced through robots. The day will soon come, the day where I will have to let go of Lucy. There isn't much time remaining for me and Lucy. Well, considering she ended up in a junk heap, presumably that negotiation with the authorities didn't go very well. I kind of wonder if she disobeyed an order and they said, nope, scrap heap. Something like that. During some crucial test or something. Or harm somebody. Yeah, we'll see, I guess. I hear someone bang on my door. I know that it can't be Lucy. Open the door this instant. I reluctantly oblige. I think this is his first time coming into the bedroom. My father is standing there with a displeased look on his face. It's clear that he's holding back his temper. Next thing I know, my father has thrown something in my face. Is it the fire? Yeah. A sheet of paper flutters onto the ground. This is... I pick it up. It's the result from the mock exam I'd taken a while back. Explain yourself. I'm asking you how you managed to bring home these atrocious marks. Oh dear. My grades have plummeted quite considerably. Considering how I've always done in school, these results are bordering on the impossible. It's very strange. I felt pretty confident while writing the exam. There's no way my grades would be this horrible. After checking each and every corner of the report, I finally realized, crap. Some of the test questions and my answers were off by one line. The pattern of the corrections matched my answers. It was a fatal mistake, but what was done is done. I've been thinking about a lot of things, and my mind was a mess back then. I scribbled all over the test without checking it over. I tried to explain it to my father. I was careless and put my answers in the wrong lines. You honestly think you can fool me with such a feeble lie? I'm not lying, I really did make a mistake. I was having a hard time concentrating on the test. At that moment, I feel a sudden surge of anger. I don't know why I was explaining this to him in the first place. I tell him the following, sounding annoyed. It's just a mock exam, so it doesn't really matter, right? It's for practice anyway. I just need to do well in the real thing. You have the audacity to tell me that it doesn't matter after showing me these results? Do you honestly expect me to believe that you'll do well in the real exam? I wasn't like this when I was your age. Never once brought home grades as poor as these. It can't be helped. I'm not you after all. You're right. It appears that you don't bear any resemblance to me. Exactly. This never would have happened if you were like me. If you were like me, you wouldn't have turned out so inferior. You seem to have taken after your mother. Nothing good about her, that is. How dare he? The crack, something inside me snaps. You're always like this. You're always being so stubborn and judging people by your own selfish standards. What's so great about you, huh? Am I supposed to just watch my son become a failure in life then? Whatever happens has nothing to do with you. You never once taken good care of me anyway. Aren't you only thinking about yourself all the time? What kind of nonsense are you talking about? If you never decide to bring it up, I'm going to take care of you for the rest of your life, so you can rest assured. Because even a person like you is still my father. Be sure to pay my gratitude for raising me. Even if I move out of this place, I'll make sure to send you money every month. Make sure you'll live a pleasant life. Then that's settled, right? No objections? In exchange, once I find a job, don't even think about talking to me ever again. Yikes. Don't even think about seeing my face ever again. Why, you brat! I was slapped in the face. A light flashed from my eyes before I could even feel the pain. My pounding heart feels like it's crushing my insides. In my crumpled state, I look up. Without losing any strength, my gaze would glare at my father. It was that moment. Lucy entered the room. Uh-oh. After looking around wondering what happened, she jumps in shock as she spots me. She approaches me and helps me up. Well, what happened, Master? Nothing at all. My master's cheeks are red. I said it's nothing. Move aside. It's not something you should be concerned about. But I said move aside. After a short pause, she takes a tiny step back. At that moment, my father's gaze passes on to her. See, because of that robot. His voice is quivering with rage. It must be. Ever since he brought that thing home, he began to turn strange. He used to be a good boy who would never talk back to his father. Someone who would never stare at his father with such hatred in his eyes. All this is the robot's fault. That robot's tearing you apart from the inside. But not so you're talking about... I opened my mouth to protest, but I immediately swallowed my words back down. I flinched after noticing my father's gaze. He has the look of a maniac who's about to do something horrible. His fists are shaking uncontrollably. You started becoming twisted ever since that robot set foot in this house. Everybody's leading you astray. Get away from my son, you filthy machine. Lucy looks troubled. My father slowly approaches her, clearly intending to do something terrible to her. But it seems like Lucy never once thought of resisting in the first place. She continues to stand there even while quivering in fear, not intending to move no matter what horrible things my father might do to her. In desperation, I grab hold of Lucy's hands and I dash out of the house with her. Oh, that was a little intense. There's a lot of sweat trickling down my forehead. Lucy gives me a worried look as she wipes it off. Is Master alright? Yeah, I'm fine. Of course he's fine. He keeps answering that same answer. Father appears to be very angry. Also, Master's heart rate is quite high. Let's take a short walk. I think both of us need some time to cool our heads. Understood, Master. Good. If Master's all right with it, Lucy would like to visit that place again. That place? That place? The repair shop? Presumably? No other place to think, oh, that place? Why would you want to go there? Some time has passed since her arrival at the junkyard. For a place to take a walk in, it isn't very romantic. Wait, romantic? Why are you thinking of romance? Is that where we're going here? But this is where Lucy wanted to be. Lucy's been standing silently with a blank stare. Ever since we came here, she's been staring at a certain spot along the ground. For some reason, she seems a little sad. Are you worrying about that again? Worrying about what, Master? What my father said. Is Lucy truly a useless robot? Is she not of any help to Father? I can't bring myself to answer that question. As long as she remains a robot, there's no way my father will ever find her helpful. I suddenly remember the look my father had in his eyes. I shudder as a chill runs down my spine. Expecting something like this to happen again in the future, I decided to tell Lucy the following. If my father ever tries to do something to you, then just run away. Run away? That's right, I'm telling you to protect yourself. Don't just stand there like you did back then. Run away, got it? Is that an order? It's an order. Then Lucy will do so. I begin to feel at ease. There's only so much the three-letter box can do to protect Lucy. With such an order given, I can finally relax. And quit worrying about it so much. Worrying about what, Master? My father may not need you, but at the very least, I'd like you to stay by my side. So try to be satisfied with that, just that. No matter what my father says, you can stay with me like this for all eternity. It's a big promise to make. For eternity is a pretty long time. It's an embarrassing line that I put a lot of effort to say. But for some reason, Lucy changed the subject. Eternity. How long is an eternity to Master? How long, you ask? Couldn't guess what kind of answer she's expecting. An eternity is an eternity. Yeah, it's a curious way of phrasing that question. How long is eternity to him? Because I have a feeling that the doctors also promised her that she could stay with him forever. But we'll see. It means forever. There's no end. What is the meaning of forever? Huh? Realistically speaking, it would be impossible for Lucy to stay with Master for eternity, because people age. Everyone grows old and dies one day. Lucy doesn't want to think about it, but Master will also grow old. Master will grow old and pass away one day. There is a limit to how long people can live. They're different from Lucy, who can live on as long as there's electricity. If Master passes on, Lucy will be left all alone. She won't be able to stay with Master for all eternity. So how long is an eternity to Master? I ponder for a bit. If you want me to be realistic, it's until I die. That's right, the eternity I wish for is until my death. Most people live to 100 nowadays, so that's a lot of time left. He's just at least 80 years ahead of us. That's how long you need to stay by my side for. 80 years. Is that what Master meant by eternity? Yeah, it's quite a long time. Will Lucy really be able to remain with Master for all those years, though? What makes you say that? Lucy sounds anxious, as if she was imagining something that could only happen in dreams. Lucy's afraid. Lucy's afraid that she will be left behind by Master, just like how she was abandoned by the lab. I told you I would never do that. Yeah, no doubt they told her they wouldn't do that either. I realize I'm raising my voice a little. I won't abandon you. I won't leave you behind like those irresponsible people at the lab did. So stop saying things like that. Master might say that now, but no one knows what the future might bring. Technology is constantly evolving, as do people's expectations. Presently, Lucy is undeniably the finest model of android out there. Hey, no need to show off. Master, Lucy is simply stating the fact. All android models currently available are inferior to Lucy. Well, that's probably true. But such a status will not last forever. Technological progress will inexorably proceed. Subsequent models will be superior in both technology and features. You'll have fewer bugs and malfunctions, and the designs will be a lot more pleasing. It's a typo. A lot more pleasing to the eye. They will also always stay up to date with the trends. It's inevitable that Lucy will become obsolete. She will eventually become worthless. She will be cast aside for being too outdated. In such a future, will Master still allow Lucy to remain by his side? Instead of a new state-of-the-art android, will Master continue to be happy with an old model like Lucy? Yeah. Even after 10 years? After 20 years? After 30 years and beyond? Will Master stand by his words to never let go of Lucy? That's not really a promise. It's not really a promise you can make. Yeah, I will. Dude, you're setting her up for disappointment. Lucy is still uncertain. She probably already has a history of having such promises let down, you know. The present master won't be the same as the master in the future. His love for... Ooh, drop the L word. His love for Lucy may disappear one day, because people change. From experiencing new things, meeting new people, and making new memories, it's possible that Master may lead a tragic life and lose faith in himself. Yeah, that's why Lucy is uncertain whether Master's current self will remain the same in the future. Whether Master's feelings remain the same, Lucy is uncertain. That is why Lucy is afraid. The eternity that Master speaks of seems distant and vague, like a dream. That is why Lucy is afraid. I became silent for a moment. There is a possibility that my future self might look down the current me. I speak up once more. It's just as you say, I can't guarantee anything. Who knows what might happen until the actual time comes. But still, I'm confident. Confident that I won't change. Just in the last few days, he's kind of changed a little. You can't predict what's going to happen in 80 years. But whatever. Because it's not like I want just any decent android. That's right. I wasn't keeping Lucy around just for the sake of convenience, not for her features. I want you for who you are, Lucy. Lucy doesn't reply immediately. Then, who is that Lucy? What do you mean? Who is the Lucy that Master is looking at? Who is the Lucy that Master wishes to be with? These are good questions. These are important questions that he's been. I mean, Lucy is understandably confused because he's giving a lot of mixed messages. Like, the only time he offers gratitude is when she cares for him, like, takes care of him. But then when she goes to take care of him after his father hits him, like, he brushes her off. So, like, he's being really inconsistent about how he treats her, and so you just kind of feel bad for her because she's trying her darndest to understand what it is that he wants, and he's giving her so many mixed messages. And right now, like, she's like, come on, give me a clear answer here. Like, what is it you want me to do? What part of Lucy does Master desire the most? I don't understand. It's impossible that Lucy will continue to operate 80 years into the future and still remain the same. Many issues will begin to arise only a few years in. From deterioration, some of Lucy's important components may fail, meaning Lucy will require frequent repairs and replacements for the affected parts. The arms, the legs, and even... Whoops. Sorry. Wasn't expected to skip it like that. Excuse me. If those parts are switched out, there may not be anything left resembling the current Lucy. And sorry, hang on. The arms, legs, and even Lucy's face will eventually need to be replaced, as various parts are switched out. There may not be anything left resembling the current Lucy. The original Lucy may never return. Even with such change, will Master still appreciate her? The appearance doesn't matter. People get plastic surgery all the time, but that doesn't change who they really are on the inside. And that also applies to you, because you'll still have your memories. Does Master really think so? Lucy sounds uncertain. People define themselves through their memories. They're able to recognize their existence through special events that happen in their lives. But this is not the case for Lucy. It's true that Lucy recognizes herself through the data saved in the memory chip, but it's not permanent in the same manner. Something of Lucy's personality can easily be switched through a quick, simple change in her program. Likewise, Lucy's memories can be written over. They can be altered with minimal effort. From only a simple error, all of Lucy's memories of Master can disappear in an instant. On the other hand, they can easily be duplicated. For Lucy, her memories are something that can be easily replaced, just like her body parts. Unlike the humans, Lucy's memories are not unique. From everything that comprises Lucy, there isn't a single part that is truly one of a kind. Lucy is nothing but an object. Here's a fun question. On one side, there's Lucy A. She possesses Lucy's original body, but not her memories. On the other side, there's Lucy B. Her appearance differs completely, but instead she contains Lucy's memories. Which Lucy is the one that Master truly desires? Which Lucy would Master consider to be the real one? It's a question based off of the ship of Theseus. We're going to Greek mythology now. Huh. Well, I was going to go with the original memories line, since that's what he already said. Excuse me. But there's also a both option, so... like personally, I guess I kind of lean towards this option, but I'm also trying to take into account how is protagonist going to address this? How is he going to express himself? Also, how is it going to fit into the narrative? And I'm wondering. No, I'm going to go with the original memories line. I choose Lucy with all her memories. Why is that? Because those memories are something we share together. But Lucy just won't be the same anymore. The way Lucy looks at Master, her gaze, her laugh, they will all be different from what Master is used to. Master will definitely feel something's out of place every time he looks at Lucy. Lucy will feel foreign to Master. Even with those feelings, will Master really be able to accept the new Lucy? That's irrelevant as long as you share the same memories. Even though Lucy won't be able to say for sure that they're her own true memories, it doesn't matter. Even if your memories have become altered, I'm sure something will remain inside of you that could reveal your true identity. Lucy is not so sure. Lucy doesn't have any confidence in herself. Aww. There's nothing unique about Lucy, so she doesn't know whether there's any meaning to her existence. There's that talk about meaning again. In the previous scene, he was trying to convince her that her existence is meaningless. And she seemed to she expressed that she found meaning in happiness and in making people happy. But now it seems that she has some doubts. Has Master ever heard of the saying that people leave behind their names when they die, and animals leave behind their skin and fur when they die? In that case, what can robots leave behind? Until the moment everything rests to the point that it's no longer possible to move, what can a robot leave behind to make a mark on this world? That's another expression I haven't heard before. People leave their names, animals leave their fur, skin and fur. I don't know. I mean, I guess I would presume people's memories of them would, but whatever. I guess you can leave behind your body parts. That sounds too cruel. Lucy would like to leave behind something more meaningful. Like what? For example, memories. Yeah, as I said. Yes, but Lucy would like to leave behind our memories. Memories. Yes. Since Lucy cannot find any value in her life on her own, she would at least like to find it by existing in Master's memories. Lucy will work hard, very hard, in order to leave behind a favorable impression on Master, in order to engrave Lucy Valentine's existence into his heart. That's why Lucy hopes that Master will always remember her, being able to live on in Master's memories for all eternity. That is the eternity Lucy wishes for. There's title drop. Aw. I nod at her words. I understand what she's saying, but that's not what I... It's not what you want? What do you want, dude? What do you want? You're not being clear. Something like that isn't what I desire. Well, now that I've calmed down a bit, let's head back. Yeah, your dad's probably not calmed down. That could be leading to an ugly confrontation. Father couldn't possibly still be angry, right, Master? I don't know. We'll find out once we get there. You're being awfully optimistic, Lizzie. Oh dear. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. How's this gonna play out? I enter the house. I don't hear anyone, but I see my father's shoes. Could he be taking a nap? Be a blessing if we don't run into each other. Carefully, without making any sound, I enter my room. Do you like the Dream of Electric Sheep? That's Blade Runner reference? Or... by Philip K. Dick, I think is the author of the book. Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep is the title of the book that Blade Runner is based on. Anyway. Another day. Oh! This is Lucy. Does that mean would it be Lucy's perspective? Like actually Lucy's perspective? Hum hum hum. Lucy is cleaning her room. Is this Lucy's internal monologue? Oh, okay. She appears to be in a good mood today. The room isn't very messy. That's only because Lucy has been working diligently. And even though the room isn't messy, Lucy continues to clean as usual. It's already become a part of her daily routine. Without allowing a single speck of dust to fall onto the floor, Lucy proceeds with clinical efficiency. Here and there. Lucy glides across the floor with a vacuum cleaner. She dusts each and every corner and organizes the pile of books on the shelf, on the desk. She hangs up the jackets inside the closet and places the folded underwear inside various drawers. She repeats this process. Not too long after, she finally stretches her back, and she wipes her forehead with the back of her hand. Phew, it's finally done. The way she massages her waist while letting out a deep breath is no doubt the appearance of a typical woman who stares at the sky through a window. It sure is a lovely day today. It had been a while since she'd seen such a warm, sunny weather. Compared to the chilly weather she'd been seeing lately, this was quite rare. The sunlight is faintly shining down from the sky. Hopefully it'll stay this warm. It's almost time for her master to return home from school. She makes her way towards the living room to finish up the rest of her chores. Oh, I'm worried that the father's going to come home. Lucy arrives in the living room. She tilts her head in confusion. It's because she has heard something. It's father's voice. She can't make out what he's saying, but he's speaking quite loudly. It doesn't seem like he's just talking to himself. Soon enough, Lucy hears the voice of another person. It's a woman. Perhaps father has brought a guest home. With careful steps, Lucy makes her way towards his room. But she suddenly stops to think. She's reminded of father's frightening demeanor. She might get scolded again if she runs into him. Feeling a little scared, Lucy stops at the base of the door. From there, she cautiously peers into the room. If she's interrupting him while he's, she sees father. He's talking to a lady that Lucy's unfamiliar with. She looks like she's in her early 30s. Lucy quietly mutters to herself, "Who could that be? It's Lucy's first time seeing her." Could that be the new mother that protagonist alluded to? Being careful not to get caught, she listens in while keeping her distance. Her sensitive ears begin to pick up their voices clearly. Blame everything on the robot. Everything's been going well ever since that thing came along. Could they be talking about Lucy? Oh, no kidding. Lucy knows that eavesdropping is bad, but overcome by her curiosity, she continues to listen. Sona started acting strange. He was never like this before. Are you sure? I've always felt that he was the rebellious type. Yes, I'm sure he might have been on a little on the quiet side, but he still used to be a good kid. Well, if you say so, dear. She must be Master's mother. Lucy comes to that conclusion from the way that the woman is talking to Father. She has heard once from Master that Father had remarried with a young secretary, but it seems that she doesn't stop by this place very often. I've been thinking something was up. I never thought his condition would be so severe. He's completely out of it. I think that he's confusing a robot with a human being. No, it's just like what's been on the news lately. It's just how could a young boy like him lack such common sense, confusing a machine with a person? That robot is strange. It's eerily realistic. It's far better at copying people than other models. I've seen that slag in chapter laugh and cry. Did you say once that she has quite the looks too? That she's just like a person and listens to his every command? I can see how it could be problematic for a boy his age. But still, she's just a robot. Probably he's having trouble at school. Trouble? Don't they say this often? That unsociable children are usually the ones that get attached to androids since they have trouble getting along with people, they grow close with androids instead? They were always willing to listen to them, unlike people. It's clear that he's having trouble with his school life. I wouldn't know. His father isn't exactly the sociable type either, for that matter. Since he ever talks about what happens at school. Anyways, it's certain that the robot is the cause of all these problems. There's no doubt. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Isn't it obvious? What do you mean? Why don't you just go destroy it? What? Go dispose of it. The robot's the reason behind all this, right? Is he acting like he hasn't considered this? I thought he's already threatened it. The words are followed by a moment of silence. Then he'll be really upset about it. Isn't it just like a toy anyway? When his condition improves, we can always buy him a new one. It's not as simple as that. The robot looks a bit special. Then are you planning to leave things the way they are? You think his feelings are more important than his future? Something must be done about this, right? Yeah. Then just get rid of it. Go smash into pieces or set it on fire or whatever. Father appears to be mulling it over. You're right. The robot is the cause of all this. If the robot disappears, if that robot gets out of our way, everything will soon return to normal. Considering he keeps threatening that it's a little... I do find it a little curious that he never considered actually... if he never actually considered getting rid of her. That's as far as Lucy could listen. She couldn't bring herself to stay any longer. She starts to walk away from them, looking sullen. Correction, she tries to get away. Ow! While scrambling to leave, Lucy bumps into a nearby display containing a jar. She manages to catch it just in time to prevent it from crashing to the floor, but she makes a lot of noise in the process. Who's there? Father and the woman rush out of the room. It's you. Were you listening? Lucy makes an excuse while putting the jar back in its place. Lucy is very sorry. She did not mean to eavesdrop on purpose. She told another lie. That's enough. Makes everything a lot easier then. I order you to leave this house. We have no use for you. There's nothing we need from you in this household. So leave. But Master is... My son doesn't need you either. He's only confused because he's young. You're not being of any help to my son. You're only causing him to suffer. So run along. Forever disappear from our sights. Lucy stands in a timid posture, but her voice is as firm as ever. With all due respect, Lucy does not agree with Father. What? Lucy believes Lucy believes that she's being a great help to Master. In the past, she wouldn't have been able to say for sure, but now it's different. She continues to speak with great confidence. Master has told Lucy that he needs her. That is why Lucy does not wish to leave. Needs? I don't think he didn't express it exactly like that. She would like to continue to help Master. All right. Doesn't seem like we'll get anywhere by talking. His father disappears off somewhere. A moment later, he turns to the container filled with gasoline in his hand. He pours the gasoline onto Lucy? He really... Gasoline makes a loud splash as it makes contact with Lucy. You know, protagonist did order her to run away if he threatened her. I would have thought that she would have just, you know, when he gave the order to leave, shouldn't she have just left? It's that failure to obey orders again. She soon becomes drenched from top to bottom. Lucy stands in silence with the gasoline covering her body. Father takes out a lighter and flicks it on. Is he doing this right inside the house, like in the living room? Like, how did... He holds the lighter threateningly close. This is my last warning. Leave if you don't wish to be turned to a pile of ashes. And don't you dare come back. Stay on my son's life forever. Lucy silently observes her slimy body. What should Lucy do? Lucy tries asking herself. But there isn't anyone that could give her an answer. Without knowing what to do, Lucy remains standing still for quite a long time. But she's already been given an order. You know, the protagonist told her to run away if he threatened her. If the father, I don't know. The body is designed to be able to withstand intense heat for a short while, but it won't be long before she begins to melt. Lucy suddenly remembers Master's order. Oh, now you remember it. Run away if she's in danger. That was the order. Lucy doesn't know what to do. She doesn't know what to do, but she decides to leave the scene first. Staying here would be going against the second and third law of robotics. This is the first time she's shown concern for the laws of robotics, it seems. In order to prevent that, Lucy begins to move. Please take care. The sad look, Lucy leaves. Don't even think about showing up here ever again. If you do, you'd better be prepared to pay the price. I'm in no way exaggerating. Keep that in mind. All Lucy did was to give the ground a lonely stare. Does she really have to part with Master like this? With a heavy heart, she makes her way outside, leaving behind a slimy trail of gasoline. Father follows after to make sure she leaves. And I've been keeping these videos to about an hour, so maybe this is a good time to save it and come back to some other time. Yeah, so lots of stuff happened there. Yeah, interesting that Father had sorry, there's a lot to unpack there. It's just like, is he really gonna like immolate her right in his own living room? Like, is he that demented? And rather curious, he needed his like new wife or significant other to tell him to do it in order to make a decision about doing that. I don't know. I got nothing right now. I'll come back to this later. Until next time.